But I'm vacation I am working on a song. It's called I'm Trusting in God's Time. And for so long, I used to live in this lack mentality of like, oh, like, not even lack mentality, just straight up like not being patient because so many times I lived through experiences where I felt like honestly like I felt like I'm not, doing all the things to accomplish my goals, and I'm realizing now like I have um I have time. And not to say I take it for granted, but I do have time to live my dreams and live my purpose, even though I would want them right away. And I'm learning that it's okay to wait on God's timing, and I'm not projecting any religion. And I also believe in my self-worth um is, dealt with and is entangled with my career in a lot of ways. And there's sometimes where I feel like if I'm not achieving or accomplishing, then, and right now, then I'm not enough. And I am saying this, in a way to like remind you and also myself that like as much as I want things to be my way or come in my time, that's not always the case. And sometimes I realize that if I'm waiting or if I'm rushing to the gate, then um I know for me, I may crumble under the pressure of all this weight. Like, for example, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I was already an A-list rapper, and then I compare myself to other people, and then I'm like, you know what? People, I notice I can't really compare myself to them because like people have their own problems and I have my own. It's like, and it's different. It's not to compare my problems from a celebrity's problems. I just know, like, in my opinion, feelings are universal, and I'm learning how to process what I'm going through as just someone who's not, as established as maybe another rapper, and I may have issues that maybe they're not going through, and vice versa. Um, so for me, it's like worrying about like, hey, this is God's timing. When He wants me to be at that big venue, or He wants me to get that financial goal met, then it will be met. But for now, I'm just working my hardest because if you're just like me, if you're impatient, you want things to be now, you want to put it in the microwave and you want it to be all done and set. It's not always the case. And at least for me, I know from my experiences that things took longer than I wanted to. Singles that I wanted to release, um, years, months ago, and things took time. It took time to get the record out. It took time to communicate with producers. It took time for me to, take more notes and gather information so that I can reassess the issues and come up with a better game plan and strategy. And my hope for this song, and the reason why I'm writing this song, and is because I was doing Tanisha's 5 days 5 day fast and renewal, and it was just so many breakthroughs, so many songs that came out of that fast. And I also fasted from pornography. So I'm just, you know, grateful for that song that came out of it called Trusting in God's Time, because I was also trusting that in God's timing, like I would find the right time to actually cement my own or solidify my own virtual space, as much as I love being in other people's personal spaces. I feel like for me that God is calling me to be a leader in a lot of ways, and I didn't really know that until there were so many things as far as leadership wise that were, I want to say, tossed in my direction, but at the same time were were coming to my direction in a way that I didn't really see. And there was also times where I've been in a leadership position that I felt like maybe that could have been a sign that, hey, like I'm meant to be a leader, but always been more comfortable in the background because I didn't think I was worthy of it. And I think right now I'm in a moment where I'm like, God is telling me, okay, step it up, like be bold. A bold purpose is my theme of the year, and for some reason I'm still sometimes it's really difficult for me to hold true to that that theme because there's sometimes I feel as if I'm passive, even though I'm doing things and I'm getting on stages, and there's still a part of me that still doesn't feel like I belong on those stages. But I'm learning now. It's like it's something that I'm always working on. It's like, yeah, I do belong on those stages, and that's me never, there will be times when those things happen. There will be times when I know that my feelings will be out of whack, and I might be like, hey, like I'm going through something right now, but I'm still gonna be on stage and performing. And a little tangent, but just in regards to my dreams and my goals, it's not always gonna happen in the right timing, and my timing. And I'm learning that God is like, you know what? This is a time where you need to put yourself in a position where you can lead other men to heal, like you're healing by going to therapy. And it's like not to fix people but to hold space for people and create a safe container, because I feel like that's been really lacking. And even though there are spaces where there's a lot of men's groups, um and I'm learning that, like, for me to create something of my own that I can call my own, and take some of the ideas and really mold mine into something that is able to impact, many men, and at least one person to be changed and say, hey, this has brought me inner freedom. And it's definitely not to fix people, but just to help them realize more of themselves, which I'm grateful for. And the song, in God's timing, trusting God's timing, is helping me realize that, yeah, I can wait, you know, for his timing, because his timing is sufficient. Even though it doesn't sound sincere, I was trusting that God will take me to a space where I can rely on his timing of, like, when things, even with sometimes with certain opportunities, it's like now I'm getting the bigger gigs, so to speak, and I'm learning to be okay with things taking its time, and me developing and me going through the process. So I say all of that to say that sometimes things happen for a reason, and even though it may not feel, at least for me, really easy to cope with, I'm realizing that once I let go and I said, hey, God, do something big in my life, in this season, I was able to kind of like reset my mind, set, um, and also I want to get into this whole fast, because the reason why I did this fast, with Tarnisha Sass, who was my mentor and accountability coach, is because I was holding on to strongholds that were really distracting me from my mental health, and also my purpose. One thing that I struggled with for a long time is pornography, and I'm not proud of it, and I'm also working on not feeling like I'm ashamed, because it's not something that another person doesn't struggle with. However, for me, I've carried that for a long time, and I had so much shame around it, especially being in the church. And I felt like I was like a mistake or a bad person, rather, because I was doing so. And I'm just learning now that because of this fast, I was able to reset my mind and say, hey, this is not serving me. This is not serving my goals and my mission to help other people heal and empower them to choose themselves. Like I chose myself in my self-worth journey and to remind people that they are enough. And I did it because I knew that there was gonna, I needed to take a risk. And it has to be now because if it's now, I'm not gonna do it never. And I was so passionate about saying, hey, I'm doing this. And, I jumped in, on the call last week, Saturday. And, before I went to the gym, I'm like, Lord, I'm like, I don't know if I could do this call, this renewal, fast call that we were having on that past weekend. And I'm just like, because part of me was like, you know what? You're gonna go in there and you're gonna say you're gonna fast from pornography, but you're gonna go back. And I had to wrestle with that before I was even heading to the gym. I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. And there was like an inkling of like self-doubt that came and crept in into my mind. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't even do it. So I was like 2 seconds from saying, or not even showing up to the call. And then I felt like something like, I don't know, instilled in me and voice of God saying, "Oh, you know what? What's holding you back? What's holding you back?" And I was like, man, I don't know. A lot of times I hold myself back, and this was something that was holding me back. Like I was literally distracted, and there's so much things that I want to do and have desires to do, and this was getting in the way. And I knew that, but I didn't do anything to change that, and I didn't put parameters around um what I was doing, so it was so easy to just access it. I realized after the fact that I did this fast. I went 5 days without watching it, and I'm like amazed by the transformation. Cause I'm like, I don't need it in my life. It's not serving me. And it's like, at the same time, it's like, what, what other things that I am holding on to that I need to let go of? Because I'm in a season right now of letting go of things. And I wrote a song about letting go and that I'm releasing soon. And I'm excited about it because it's like, it's healing me, just me to sing it. And, I mean, write it and perform and just like perform it in the studio. And it was just one of those things that I'm learning to process at the same time. I'm also realizing that my journey is not easy. It's not been, rainbows and butterflies. This whole journey this week has been tough. It's been tough. I've been tempted to go back and quit. And, I did limit social media, so I was barely on it at all. I was pretty much non-existent. I would post and then get off. I wasn't really checking any DMs or anything. I just wanted to clear my mind of the mental clutter. And I'm so proud of myself that I was able to get through this, entire week. Um, it was so many breakthroughs, like, some of the songs that came out of that 5 minute, 5 day fast. Like I'm so thankful for my coach Tanisha, to her obedience to God, and how she was able to just say, "Hey, this is something that I want to cultivate and help other people, um, cultivate in their lives." And I was like, you know what? I said, let's do it. Like, and I committed to it, and I journeyed throughout the whole process. I meditated throughout the whole process. I prayed, and I'm not a prayer, but I prayed throughout the process for strength, and I was really relying on God's strength versus my own, which is very rare because a lot of times I have a big ego and I want to think I can do it all alone. But it was in those times where I would write in my journal like, hey, like I know I'm not doing it alone. I know Tanisha's praying over me. I know my 1% community is holding me down. So like I knew that I had someone in the back of me, like, you know what I mean? Like cheering me on. So I was so grateful for that mindset shift. And I also am so grateful for not only the songs that came out that really is telling of like me breaking through those chains. I'm so grateful for like the resilience I had to say, hey, like even though I'm struggling through the process, like I didn't give up. So I'm grateful for my resilience to keeping my commitment to my commitment and saying, hey, like if I'm doing this 5 day fast, I'm doing it and I'm gonna make sure that I do it to completion. And for me, that's always been something that I strive to be a man of my words. And the fast was hard and wasn't easy. But then again, like what's easy in life? Um, my life hasn't been easy. So for me to think, the sacrifice is easy, I think that's, poor judgment or thinking on my side. Not to judge me or shame me for that, but just in general, it's not realistic. And especially going through some stuff that I had in the past. And I say all of this to say that I'm so like I'm in a better mental space now that I got rid of that baggage and I'm like, hey, like I'm in a season of letting go. Like what else do I need to let go of? Like mental clutter, what physical clutter, and it's just like um it's like for so long I've just been holding on to a lot of things and what this fast helped me realize is that I don't need to hold on to resentment and anger and just being all upset and projecting my anger on other people because I've not resolved anger within myself and I think it's not fair. It's not fair for me to project my anger towards other people who don't deserve it. And that's one thing I've learned through this whole fast is the fact that like hey I am able to overcome those mental hurdles and mental baggage so to speak that mental baggage because I'm worth it and I am worth it so that's the reason why I did it because I know that there will be something on the other side for me to say hey like I'm victorious and I really stand for peace of mind and my peace of mind has been compromised because I decided to fill my stuff my eye gates with all this mental clutter and which is pornography and it's like you know what I'm not here to play a game. I'm here to make impact, leave legacy, and heal. That's, and help other people heal and empower them. That's what I'm here for. And if I'm able to let go of certain things that are not serving me and the people that I'm meant to serve, then it's not doing anything for me that's productive or conducive to the type of person that I want to become and I am becoming. So for me, I'm like, okay, let this go, leave it at the altar, and that's it. And I'm not turning back. And although this time I know I'll be tempted, at the same time I know like I've done this before. I've been through the whole week. What's 2 weeks feel like? What's 3 weeks? What's a month? What's a year feel like? When I let go of that mental baggage that's holding me back, and I'm just so grateful. Like I have so many takeaways from this fast, and my hope is that like what I said inspired you to let go of anything that you're holding on to because at least for me when I started letting go of certain things like anger, resentment, pornography, I just saw like my life transform. And I'm not saying like like it happens overnight. It didn't happen overnight. I was able to pray it out, listen to meditation, um type of not even just doing meditations and actually surrounding myself with worship music. Even at the gym, I was playing worship music on my headphones because I'm like I want to stay grounded during this whole fast, and I want to make sure that I listen to things that will encourage me to keep going, and I did it. Was it hard? Absolutely. But the thing about it is, The things that are hard are sometimes worth it for me, and I'm grateful for the fast. I'm grateful for the transformation that happened during that fast because I'm learning that I'm not alone and that my words are powerful and that setting intentions and letting go of things is important for my journey. And I hope that this inspires you to step up and let go of certain things, step up and chase your purpose, your dreams, your goals, because life is short and life is too short to not go after everything that you desire and everything that you want and you deserve. So I wanted to say thank you for the space because it allowed me to make room for the new version of me, the person who is enough to make the sacrifice and is worthy of transformational success, worthy of change, worthy of renewal, worthy of alignment. Like all those things, like it helped me realign with who I am as a person. And now I have my own. I'm having my own community group now because of the fast of like God was saying do this, and now I have a link now, and people can join and be and share space and hold space for other people, men especially, for men to really heal, and that's my mission. And I just want to continue to enhance that mission because I know that I'm not the only one who's going through some certain things, and I'm just grateful for that. To know that I don't have to do it alone. That I have people by me who are holding me to the fire, so to speak, and also holding me down to know that I'm supported in every single asset or facet of my life. And that's something that I don't take for granted at all. And I'm just so grateful for the transformation. I'm thanking every single one of you for listening. I thank you, Tanisha, for just like the whole intention behind it and the prompts, the questions and reflections and things, the journaling things that I got to do for that fast. It's been eye-opening for me of the things that I'm like still wrestling with within myself, and I'm like, hey, I feel lighter today. Yeah, it was a heavy week to have to go through that wrestling back and forth with wanting to give up, wanting to give out, and I said, hey, you know what? What's How about you take a chance on you? How about you take a chance on you? And I said, you know what? I'm taking a chance on me, and I'm doing it. And, I had the gloves on. I said, hey, I'm fighting this, and I had my boxing gloves on throughout the whole week. And it's been rough mentally, but you know what? I still did it. And I said, and, today was the celebration call, and I'm so happy because I'm like, there was so many epiphanies that I mentioned, and people were sharing about their epiphanies and transformation, and it's like it was one of those moments. It's like emotional in a lot of ways, because I would have probably not done this years ago, and it's just like f- renewing, and it's like liberating to say, hey, like I accomplished something that I didn't think that I had the capacity to do, and it was just like I don't know, I just felt like this inner confidence like pour out of me, and it was just one of those great moments for me that I'm really relishing in the moment right now as I continue to work on new music that is empowering me to continue to walk this self-worth journey. And again, I'm always grateful for the space that I'm being held in and the new insights that I get through being involved in those spaces. So just want to give my gratitude because I really do appreciate it.